This is not the intro I planned. I'm over here collecting bones because last episode we sorted out all of our bone blocks, and a little bit of a cryptic message down here. I noticed that we got some heads, so someone has come and visited me and put them in my inventory. GG, got them, gotcha. But who left these here? I just don't know. And we may never know, but that is okay. We got loads of bone blocks for the shop in the future, and what I wanted to do this episode was prepare for Minecraft 1.16, which may be here at the time I'm recording the next episode, the one after this. And so to be prepared means to have a plan of things that we want to do, and then, you know, make some preparations beforehand, which there isn't really a lot of. So let's check out this book that I've written. In 1.16, I have plans to build these 3 farms right here, and then we'll probably end up building some sort of vine and wood farm so we can get loads of those. But the main thing is going out there and gathering all of the materials. So I thought that writing these down in-game would give me like a checklist to go through and gather all of these things. Now, what I plan on doing is expanding the shop I have with Corrales. That's why we reserve some space over there. And we are going to build some sort of nether emporium. So we'll try and sell as many of the new nether materials as we can. So coming back over here to the book, we're going to gather all these materials, and then we'll be crafting things like chains, crying obsidian, lodestones. And I think this pretty much covers all of the new stuff in 1.16 that we can go and gather and then sell in our shop. Now there is one material we're going to need a lot of, and you know, we have a farm for this. I just saw some banners. Banners? Maps. I saw some maps behind me. Let's talk about this, okay? We're going to need gold for bartering, and this was doing alright for my own personal needs, but we're just going to need so much more in 1.16. Vote for Scar, you know? Vote for Scar, eh? You just come and spam these in my base? Is this how you're trying to convince me to vote? It is a beautiful map, though. It's a beautiful map with a lot of love and care put into it. I'm going to leave it there for now. I actually kind of like that. Just add something to the entrance. So how do we get gold? There is a pigman there that is going to show us exactly how, aren't you? With turtle eggs, but we only have a handful of these. So I want to build a gold farm in preparation for 1.16. And that means we're going to start off by trying to get our hands on some turtle eggs. So last season of Hermitcraft, I was the turtle guy. I had a turtle skin and we did some turtle breeding, and I've been scratching my head trying to remember the whole process of how we get our hands on lots of eggs. And I even went back and rewatched some old Season 6 episodes, and I think I actually did a lot of the turtle egg gathering on a live stream or something like that, because I couldn't find it in any of the episodes. But I'm pretty sure what we need is a whole bunch of seagrass to breed the turtles, and then what the turtles should do is go to the beach to lay the eggs. So we found some here that are actually just hanging out on a beach already, which is terrific. So let's go grab the seagrass. This should also lure them towards us. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's breed you and you, and you and you, and then they go to their home beach, which when they generate like this is just like a location in the world, and if you hatch an egg, that will become that turtle's home beach, so to speak. So they should start doing something now, I think, I hope, or are they going to swim somewhere else? Oh, and yeah, the resource pack. This is just what turtles look like to me now. I always forget that they've got the little Xisuma face, and oh, it just looks so normal. Anyway, those other turtles swam off, or maybe they're heading over there. This one looks like it's going in that direction. I think you're trying to do the thing where you lay the egg, right? I think that's what you're trying to do, buddy. This one swam over here as well, so it looks like this was its actual home. There we go. That means they're going to lay an egg, right? Oh, it stopped. Here, we'll give them a little bit of extra sand, and it seems that that has actually done the trick. There, look at all those particles. There's loads of particles. We got an egg now? Let's get you to follow me, because I believe you just successfully laid an egg. Yep, there it is, and there's some more. And the only thing you need, I believe, is Silk Touch. Yes, to pick them up. Oh yeah, it breaks like that. So we can get 4 from this one. Cool. Alright, we got us some turtle eggs. So what we need to do now is find a temporary area to breed up a bunch of turtles. And I kind of want to fly around and find a whole bunch of them on a coastline and then hope that that's their home so we can get started breeding with them rather quickly. So we need to find a bunch of them on a coastline and then capture them. Well, it was a bit of work, but as you can see here, I've now got a whole bunch of them captured on this beach, so I'm probably going to expand the size of it and see where they go. Like, a couple of them are over on this side, so if they head in that direction, they need to find their home spot to lay an egg, so we might end up with a really large pen, but the idea is, of course, that we always keep them on the beach, and it just makes it nice and easy to breed them. Well, that is a resounding success. First round of breeding them, and they all just start laying eggs exactly where they are. So I don't really even need to do anything to this pen. I could probably make it a little bit smaller overall. And then we just got to wait for the cooldown and I can pinch the eggs. Another thing I could do is lay a few eggs here for them to hatch so we have more turtles to breed. So that really just depends on the cooldown time. So just looked it up on the wiki. Apparently the one that lays the eggs can breed again immediately. Okay, maybe both of those just laid eggs. Okay, that's 3, that's 4. Well, they all seem to be able to breed again. Huh. It's interesting. Okay, this time 2 of them have agreed to breed. And those 2 as well? You know, the wiki doesn't mention how long it takes for them to cool down, but we seem to be able to do quite a lot with just 6 of them in a few minutes. I've already got 22 turtle eggs. That's pretty good. I don't think I'm going to need to lay them down to get a whole bunch of these. I swear, they are laying down more eggs than I am trying to breed them. There are just eggs everywhere. Look, I think when we take the eggs, they then just start laying them again. That seems to be what's happening here. Well, I don't know if something is broken or not, but I am having no trouble getting a lot of these. It seems like after I breed them and then take away their eggs, they start laying them again. So we get an absolute ton of eggs every time we breed them. And there doesn't really seem to be much of a cooldown as well. So I'm just like actively playing in the area. And so far I've got 61 eggs without doing, you know, any AFKing or waiting. I'm just constantly picking them up and breeding the turtles. So my friends, this is Cubfan's Gold Farm, and I am in creative mode because this is a backup of the Hermitcraft world. We're over here to check out this farm like we did in the episode where we almost built our own gold farm out of huge amounts of obsidian and nether portals, and we were going to use the turtle eggs as well. So I was thinking we could just build a design like this, but maybe what we shouldn't do is just copy Cubfan's design straight up. And I was looking at this and thinking about ways we could possibly make it more efficient. But the very first thing we should do is check this out in 1.16. There are now zombified piglins spawning inside of this farm and behaving exactly like the zombie pigmen did. So it looks like this is going to behave exactly the same, which is terrific. And so we will design our own farm here in 1.16. But first of all, I've just got to say, this was a resounding success. I got, 3 and a bit turtle egg stacks in not a lot of time at all. Maybe less than an hour. And I can't help but feel maybe breeding is broken. I don't remember it being this easy. But anyway, I think that's enough for now. And while we're working in 1.16 designing a farm, I'm going to go AFK somewhere and make my player useful. I'm telling you, my friends, if I wasn't such a derp, I could get so much more done in these videos. I've just spent an hour trying to get this mod working for 1.16. As you can see here, we got the 1.16 blocks, and the mod is mini HUD. And due to me making silly mistakes, eventually we got there with some help from the people in the Discord. If you're one of them, thank you for helping me. Turns out I don't even need this, but I'm going to explain what it is, okay? So we have 2 spheres around us, and this is to help us design a farm. The first sphere is for the distance at which mobs will spawn when we're standing in the middle. The second sphere is for when they won't walk. So one spawning outside of this sphere will appear in the world, but it won't move around. And of course, after a while I realized this isn't even necessary, because the turtle eggs mean that the mobs run towards them regardless of if they're inside this space right here or they're outside of it. They're going to see the turtle eggs and just start running towards it. That's how the game works. So I was thinking, Cubfan's design is a little bit strange. Why is it not circular? Why is it like square and flat? Well, that's because they can spawn outside of this area and move, which I've sort of just demonstrated, although effectively I'd be standing up there, right? But anyway, as you can see, I've created a circular shape for the perimeter at which a spawning piglin will be able to see the turtle egg and then head to the middle, because in here there is actually a turtle egg. There seems to be a slight problem though. The ones down here don't actually see the turtle egg. Maybe it's because of that glass block. Are you going to see it now? Well, this is a puzzle we're going to have to solve, but just keeping on track with the idea of making this circular. The problem is when they spawn back here, they spend a fair bit of time walking to where the turtle egg is. And so if we can make multiple floors, we can make smaller circles where they spawn and they're already closer to it. So that means they spend less time inside of the farm and more time falling to their death. So I've settled on a circle of this size, and we're probably going to repeat this about 5 times, and had a little bit of trouble with the piglins on the floor down below. Turns out they don't like this if it's any higher. So if it's only like 2 blocks between each floor, doesn't really matter where I put the turtle egg, which is somewhere in there, they don't like to pathfind towards it. So we're going to need a gap of 3, and now I just need to double check that ghasts can't spawn inside of this space. So I've looked it up, and according to the wiki, it's 4 blocks of space it needs vertically to spawn, so these glass blocks up here should prevent the ghasts from spawning. And now we're going to make use of the clone command, and we're going to take the coordinates of this block on this corner and the one on the opposite corner, but we're going to raise the vertical coordinates by 3, so we capture all of that there in the middle. And when you use the paste command, you need to be facing the positive coordinates. So where it says where we're facing, you can see both that way and that way is positive, which means it's going to be pasted in the same position when we put it below. So let's take the clone command, do this, then we need to reduce this number by 4, I think, to put it underneath, and then that, and it should, yep, look at that, it's pasted one perfectly underneath. Let's go ahead and add an additional layer by, again, reducing the number by 4. That is awesome. Okay, so now we have 5 layers on this farm, and I think we'd probably need an additional 2 just based on the rates. This is built very high up in the world. I could alternatively build it a little lower for faster rates as well. Actually, that's looking pretty good. I think we're going to go with 5 layers on this farm. I'm not very good at making up my mind. I figured since this is going to be so cheap to build, let's make it 7 layers in total. And then this drop right here is above the 24, I think, needed to kill the zombie pigmen, because sometimes they're going to drop with armor. And if we ever need to increase this, we can always go ahead and lower this. And they're probably going to fall and land within this block and this one, but I figured we'd cover the area 3 blocks around, just in case some of the items get sent out to the side when they land down here. So we're just going to make a platform of hoppers, and that's it basically. A really super simple farm we can build in 1.16 to get our hands on lots of gold. So when I'm closer to the roof of the nether hub, you can see that not so many mobs are spawning. That's because we're loading the nether below us. So if I teleport myself up 100 blocks, we're above the farm, stay here for a second, go back down again, we should see some mobs coming through. Maybe I didn't stay up there long enough. Oh no, yep, they're definitely coming down. So this is why I need to AFK up above the farm, and of course we've got a platform up here. And, you know, I actually need to go out of the house right now, so it's time for me to leave my player here and do an AFK session, and we'll see how many drops we get. So I was away from the computer for about 40 minutes, and one observation I made pretty quickly is that magma cubes can spawn inside of this farm, and I can think of a way to deal with them. We could put iron golems around the outside, but they don't seem to clog it up and stop this thing from pumping out these zombie pigmen. And I didn't see a single one actually survive the drop down here. I've also noticed that I've made it 4 wide over on this side, so that one hasn't picked up anything at all. And then here you can see we get a little bit on the edge, and the closer to the middle, the more and more drops we get. And that, I'd say, is really, really good for 30 minutes. And taking a moment to craft that all up, it's 29 gold blocks and 3 ingots, and that is really good for 40 minutes of AFKing. So we have a plan for when 1.16 arrives to build a gold farm on top of the nether roof, and we'll go over there and actually talk about that in a moment. As of right now though, I've collected all of these materials to build it with. Not a lot really for a farm like that. The magma block is the main thing, and we actually only need 7 turtle eggs, so all that time spent breeding, which wasn't a long time, and we only needed 7 eggs. I could have literally got those in like a minute. So here on the nether roof, I was planning on building the gold farm somewhere in front of us right here, so it's kind of close to our little grouping of portals. And we could have done that this episode, but we've actually had a change of plans as a group. So originally, we were going to reset the nether, but everything below the roof, so we could actually keep all of the things that we have up here for convenience. But we've since decided that we're no longer going to put portals on the roof of the nether, and we're actually going to reset the entire thing, which makes more sense for a lot of you watching, right? Because doing all that clever stuff like keeping the roof, it's not really accessible for the average player, and so we want to play like you can play as well. So all of this stuff is going to go, and do you know what? I'm going to leave the carpets. I don't mind losing those. I don't mind losing the portals, really. We need to pick up and transport some items like ink sacks. That would be a very smart idea. And I might even pick up some of the obsidian. I do have a plan to build an obsidian farm that'll get us tons of the stuff really easy. But just for the beginning where we're going to rebuild portals in the nether down below, it'll probably be a good idea to have a little excess obsidian. Another really important thing to do is to take the coordinates of where everyone's portal is, so that we have a reference in the new update, and you know, everyone can make their new portals when we reset the nether. Now there is one thing that I do want to do, and it's to come over here and take back all of this redstone from the button, because you guys know Mumbo Jumbo. He's always out of the loop, and the nether is going to reset and he's not going to know what's happened. So I figured I would actually collect the rest of his redstone here and put it in a shulker box for him. So at the very top of Mumbo's base there is a chicken, and I've decided that that chicken has laid an egg. This egg is just a shulker box with a sign on it. So hey Mumbo, the nether will reset, so I saved your redstone and a bunch of colourful blocks from in there as well. Also, whenever I come to Mumbo's nether portal, I always have to break this glass to get through. I mean, what is this chaos right here? This portal doesn't seem to lead anywhere useful. If I go on this side over here, there's no way out of this space, and then there's just endless tunnels. This tunnel just goes on for ages and ages. Oh, I don't understand. Don't try and fly in this tunnel, I've learned. I've just used up a totem of undying. And that is why I always like to keep one on my offhand. It's a lifesaver. A literal lifesaver. So it'd be a good idea before the update to come in here and repair all of my tools and armor. I don't have too much of this to be done. But it just got me thinking, this is going to get disappeared as well by resetting the nether. And maybe rather than building the gold farm we designed, I should build one like this, where I can get XP as well, because we're going to need an XP farm. Like a powerful one. Oh, why is it that I spend all these hours doing stuff like designing things and then just find out, oh, actually, probably not going to do that. I don't know. Anyway, time to repair these tools. So, 7 shulker boxes of ink sacks all stored up, ready to take to the overworld, and rebuilding this in 1.16 is going to be pretty straightforward, really. Just got to get the coordinates and rebuild that little contraption somewhere down below the roof of the nether. And so you might be wondering, when is it we are actually updating to 1.16? Well, this video I plan to release on a Monday, and it is the evening of that Monday that I will be taking the server offline, downloading the world, making all the preparations for 1.16, and keeping a backup of this nether. So when there's a world download in the future, you'll have access to this nether roof, and you can see some of the things that we built from this part of the season. But we will be resetting it and then opening it up on that Monday evening. So the following day, Tuesday the 23rd, is when 1.16 comes out across all platforms, and you might see some videos from Hermits on that day, and I'll probably take a day or two to put out my first episode from 1.16. So it's been an episode of little jobs and errands, and I just thought of another one I'd like to do. This iron balloon that Mumbo left me has been here for ages, and I kind of liked it being there, but I think now that we're moving into this new chapter, it's finally time to tear it down. And all this business of iron reminds me that I checked up on my iron farm a while ago, and a single piece of redstone from down below had actually just disappeared without explanation. And because of that, it meant that we weren't getting any more iron in here. But I'm glad to see that it has been fixed. All of this stuff is fresh iron to be crafted. So I'm left with 2 little errands to conduct. I mean, we got 50 diamonds from our concrete sales, the split between me and Corrales. And look, we sold some bone blocks again. These things just fly off the shelf. And I have a place to spend them. This is really cool. Vote for Mayor False. I love that. Someone else here in the area as well. We got a billboard up in the shopping area. I've also just noticed a bunch of villagers. Have they formed an actual village because an iron golem has spawned here? Oh, GG supporter. Vote stress. Wow, things are really hyping up, right? I've been seeing loads of those vote scar. Look, these things absolutely everywhere. They were even in my base. Actually, you could play a little game here. You could go around and count all of the maps. There's so many of them everywhere. Things are really heating up. Anyway, I figured I should replenish my supply of totems. These are 2 each, right? There we go. That will do me for now. And that's it. Our last episode before 1.16. That's when the next episode's going to be with a whole new update. It's so exciting, right? And I am ready, my friends. We have made our preparations. It's going to be a good one. Anyway, if you enjoyed the episode, leave a like. As always, thank you for your support, and I'll see you soon in Minecraft 1.16. Bye-bye.